All right, y'all. I'm back for the episode 5 review. So, this episode is called Swim Socks and Love on the Rocks. If they're still on their honeymoon in Mexico, we kick it off with Caitlin and Devin after the group dinner, after the party. Devin expresses his observations about Caitlin's behavior, and she tells him, look, I need some space. I don't want to be together 24/7. And he's like, I'm not saying I want to be together 24/7. I feel like with this conversation, Caitlyn went super toxic. Like, she went totally toxic and manipulative. The way she tried to make it seem like this man is saying that he want to be with her all day. She know that's not what he's saying. Like, girl, stop it. But she says that she genuinely likes him. And I just feel like if you like him, you're going to have to put in the work. Like, you can't just say it and expect him to believe it. You're going to have to show him and give him some of what he is asking of you as his wife. So Sean and Nikki have a little dinner, and they were flirty while they were shopping. And Sean is trying to be mindful of his questioning and how he approaches Nikki with things. And she decides to tell him a little bit about her long-term relationship. She says that they were common law married. I think that Sean is what she says she needs, and she's what he says he needs, but they're pushing each other away with their behavior. They're the same person to me. It's just coming out in different ways, but they really remind me of each other. They're the same person. So Michelle and Cameron, we go to them next. He reveals to her that he does not live in Seattle, that he lives and works in Portland. His job brings him lots of joy, lots of purpose, and it does have an effect where he lives as a coach. Coaches move around, especially if they're, not on a winning team, or, they're not a winning coach. They have to move around, and they, get jobs, get better positions, move up from community college to, a major university. That's going to affect where he lives, and maybe his money here or there. They go ahead and talk through kids again and the timing. I agree with Cameron. I understand why Michelle wants to get straight to it after a year and start having kids, but I do think that they shouldn't rush into it, especially because they are strangers. Of course, once you get to know each other, that kind of goes out the window. Like, each other, you're married or whatever. But I do think they should give themselves more time to be together. I don't think that being married for a year is going to be enough time for them, especially because of, how they got married. And he said that thinking about having kids is scary for him. But I think he's going to move on over and be okay with it. I think Michelle gives him a lot of nurturing vibes. Like, she's very nurturing toward him and gentle and soft. And I think that may push him over the edge, and she'll be able to get a lot of what she wants if she just keeps doing that. So they have a group pool party. Felipe bring up how he been pretty for 3 years, and who is telling this man he pretty? Y'all, please cut it out, because it done went to his head, and I don't see evidence. No, I'm gonna leave it at that. Adam wears socks in the pool. Very Adam-like behavior. Not surprised about that. It wasn't that big of a deal to me. Everybody doesn't like being barefoot, especially in public spaces. So I'm not like, he just had socks on. They was acting like it was just this huge deal. I like Marissa. She's been an unexpected favorite for me. I just like her energy. She goes with the flow. She doesn't take things too seriously. And that is kind of what Adam requires. Like, he requires a woman that can just go with the flow and be easy, because he's very much that. He's not turning out to be like I expected him to be. Like, I kind of thought he would behave like Cameron is behaving. I didn't see Adam being this fun guy that liked to make jokes, and I just really didn't see that for him. But he's showing more of that, and I think they make a great match. Like, I really stand corrected on the things that I said about Adam and Marissa in the beginning. Of course, Caitlin and Courteney link up to complain and validate each other's delusions about their matches, and I'm just over them. They don't understand what marriage is. I'm so over them. Devin opened up to the guys. Nick talks to Mecca. Courtney is confusing and stressing me out. I don't think she knows what she wants because she's throwing so much at once. Like, she is really overstimulating to watch. Nick is just a cool guy, like very chill, and she is so awkward around him. How can you be awkward around a chill guy? It shouldn't be hard to break the ice with a chill guy. He talks to the other people without any issues, but with Courtney, I don't know. Like, she's super awkward around him, but she's acting like she is so miserable. And I just haven't seen her make a real effort to try to connect with him emotionally or physically. Like, she's complaining, but she's not putting in the work herself. And I don't know if she thinks she is. I don't know. Courtney is just a lot. Becca acknowledges to the guys that he's the problem and he's been letting Bill take the lead. And he can tell that she really likes him. But he's worried about making the first move and potentially messing things up. And I really think, like I said in the last episode review, I feel like them not kissing or her giving him her cheek kind of got into his head, especially because his daddy was already like saying what he was saying about it. The fact that it actually turned out that way, I think is still stuck in his head, and he doesn't want to be rejected by her. But he really is gonna have to get out of his head because she's already giving him the green light. Like, he's gonna have to put that aside and move forward from that so that they can progress. Now, Courtney finds Tori to complain to. I just think Courtney is out of order. Like, she is completely wrong to be bad-mouthing her husband to anyone that will listen to her. That is so wrong, and it's so disrespectful. Who does Courtney think she is? Like, for you to be complaining to everyone, openly talking about how he's awkward and you're just miserable. Like, who do you think you are? You look like a ghost with that makeup off, baby. And you look about 20, 30 years older than what you really are. Like, pipe down and stop bad mouthing this man like you just the perfect catch. Please. You're out of order for that. You are dead ass wrong for doing it. And I think that she needs to put her energy into just being a better person to Nick and to herself, because she's not bringing anything. She's not bringing anything to the mix. She's just like, she has annoyed me so much on this honeymoon because of her being in her head and just being so awkward, waiting on him to do everything, to say everything, to ask everything. It has just been so annoying. But this next scene is them, Courtney and Nick, on this boat, and when they started their talk and she's like trying to have conversation with him, I was like, I know this girl did not just complain to anybody that would listen about this man, and the best thing she could come up with is a question about snot and farting. Girl, as soon as Nick started to kind of try to go deeper with her and where they were in terms of their connection, she just malfunctioned. She just malfunctions. She brings up this stupid slow burn stuff again. And Courtney is just overwhelming to me. She's overwhelming. She talk too fast. She talk over people. She cried, then she good. She is just a mess. She needs therapy, intense therapy. She is so exhausting. I don't know how Nick is doing it. Not only does Devin deserve better, Nick deserves better too. Like, this is, I would just tap out. Like, I wouldn't even keep trying with her. But she's still expressing this concern over him being on reality TV. And I just feel like I'm going back to what I said on a previous review. Nick shouldn't have kept bringing it up. Like, he should have told people, yes, I've been on these reality TVs, y'all know that, but I want to tell my wife that. Like, if she doesn't recognize me, let me tell her about that, because I'm on a reality show and I don't want her to think that this is that. Like, he should have thought that through a little bit better and not made it so much of his identity, because I do think, as annoying as Courtney is, and as she ain't even putting in the bare minimum, I'm not siding with her in any way. However, I can see how if reality TV is Nick's identity and the only thing that he can talk about with excitement, I can see how she's like overthinking everything in her head and like, oh, did I just sign up for something that I shouldn't have signed up for because this person isn't genuine and I am. It would lead a person to to think that. But Nick did do well in addressing her concerns. I feel like he gave her a good answer. And then she goes, ooh, we had a breakthrough, like this corny, awkward breakthrough thing. And I just feel like she should have hugged him. Like, that was your time to show him a little love. Lean your head on him. Like, be soft. She just needs to take a chill pill. So Cameron and Michelle, I feel like Michelle is going to bring out the fun in Cameron that I know is there. As stiff and rigid as he is, I just refuse to believe it ain't no fun there. It's some fun there. And I think that Michelle's going to bring that out. He is just really, really guarded and he's uptight, but you can tell like he's trying. I see Cameron trying. He's trying to open up and explore what it means to be outside of his comfort zone. They're boring, but they're doing the work. They're doing the work that should be done. I think that they are having conversations that will ultimately help them be more compatible because they're getting a good understanding of what the other needs and wants. Even though Michelle's voice annoys me. I love that she's really vocal about her feelings instead of making an assumption based off what he's saying. Like, she's like, I'm not going to assume anything. I'm just going to say it and I'm going to ask. I like that about her. And it helps Cameron be accountable. And now he can be honest because she already broke the ice. Like, oh, you haven't been in a long-term relationship? Now I feel like you're going to nitpick me. I like that she's doing that because it's forcing them, like I said with Nikki and Sean, it's forcing them to, even though Nikki and Sean doing it in a toxic way, Michelle and Cameron are kind of confronting their differences and their concerns in a healthier way by just talking about it and not being passive aggressive or, like I said, making assumptions. But I do like them together. I think they're boring, but I do like them together. So we have a moment with Nikki and Sean at the pool. And at this point in the season, I'm beginning to distrust Nikki a little bit. Now, other people are reading this different from what I've seen in comment sections. They feel like Sean is putting on for the cameras. But I think you could say Nikki might be putting on for the cameras a little bit too, because at first I thought that she was really trying and being genuine with how she felt and how she's trying to move along. But now I feel like she's being a little performative and manipulative at times, because one minute she's telling him that everything's great and he's making her feel safe and she loves the things that he's doing. But then as soon as he speaks up and like counters and says something, a little not critical per se, but just kind of speaks up about what he needs and what he would like from her, or something that she did that he didn't really care for, she gets defensive and the energy changes. And I feel like if you are genuinely trying to get to know someone and you're really all in, and as you said, this person makes you feel safe, why would you get bent out of shape because he's telling you that you could do something better when it's all that you've been doing to him? It just made me feel like if she's not being praised and just, hand claps, bowing down, then her energy shifts with Sean. But at the same time, Sean is not innocent, because I noticed that or what I think is happening when he's asking her about needs, he's also trying to take a jab. So like, even though she's getting a little bent out of shape by criticism and by him, speaking out with what he needs and making it a point to say what he needs, even though she feel a way about that and don't necessarily like it and it causes her energy to shift, at the same time, he is kind of trying to throw a jab and be passive aggressive and petty instead of just saying, I need you to do this for me. Just say that instead of asking her a question like you genuinely want to know, but it's really just for you to say that that's not something she's doing for you. Does that make sense? Um, it just makes him petty. And I feel like they both need to just breathe, relax, and let things flow. Sean and Nikki need to just let things flow. Play a game, lighten up. Stop being so methodical about everything. Like you're trying to go in steps and do everything as a process, and it's just not working for y'all. There's a lot of ego with those two. And when it comes to Nikki, like I want to defend her, but I also have to call it like I see it. And I just think Nikki is giving Sean mixed signals, and she's very controlling, and she's trying to dictate everything. And that's not cool. Whether you like a man or not, whether Sean in his life before he came to reality TV was trash. I've seen people talk about like women coming out. Regardless of all of that, you don't know that at this point, and you're married to him, so you can't treat your feelings like law, and his are just an afterthought. Whether you like him or not, you should not continue with the process if your lack of physical attraction to him is so strong that you can't be compromising. Like that's just not cool for anybody to be with someone who does them like that. She's, instead of like talking to him as a man, as another human being with feelings just like hers and desires just like hers, and as her husband that she should be listening to and hearing out, she's trying to tell him what's gonna happen. Like, this is what's gonna happen. I said what I said. You can't do that in a marriage. And I do also feel like she throws her lack of sexual and physical attraction to him in his face, like as a punishment, as a gotcha, like, oh, you done hurt my feelings calling me out. Now I'm gonna tell you I ain't attracted to you. I feel like that's kind of what it is with those two, because you were just saying how comfortable you were and how you were growing. Now you throwing out that attraction thing to him again. And that's wrong. That's mean. So they get into like a back and forth about a kiss, and he's basically trying to say like, do those kisses mean anything, or are you doing it just to make me feel better? And she seemed to be a little offended by that question, which I don't understand. Like, her response was insane to me. Like, this man telling you he feel like you just kissing him because that's what you think you supposed to do, and it's nothing there. That's playing with his emotions. Don't kiss him if you don't mean it. What was wrong with Sean saying it? People are, especially on YouTube more than anywhere, like I said, the YouTube audience is perceiving this show different from what I'm seeing the Threads audience and how they are perceiving it. But I don't know. I just feel like she a little mean to him. And he's petty, but you don't have to be mean. You can just be an adult and say directly how you feel, directly what's going on with you. And instead of using it as a gotcha or like a punishment trying to make him back off, you're saying he's trying to humble you, but that's actually what you're doing. You know, I see a lot of projection with her. But I do think that Sean needs to relax and try a different approach with Nikki, because she does have those moments where she seems like she's into it again. I don't know if she's performing for the camera or whatever, but he needs to stop using their conversations as a setup for an argument, because he just won't say what he's feeling. That's what I think is happening with him. So Felipe and Tori have dinner. I think Felipe is being a little overbearing towards Tori, and she seems to not be speaking up. I just feel like Tori's holding something back. I feel like she's holding something back. And I noticed that he's really like laying it all on her. He's so, just falling for her, and she's baby this and baby that. I think it's too much too soon. You know what? I ain't gonna say that. It's not too much too soon. The reason why I feel like that is I just feel like it's inauthentic. Like, he's just in a whirlwind right now. It's almost like he's super, super caught up in the moment, and he's just doing what he feels like he should be doing and just really trying to force it. I don't know. It's just some type of forcing there for me. And I noticed that Tori doesn't say how she feels about him. She just says things like, I'm thankful for this, or I'm thankful for that. She hasn't said that Felipe makes me feel so loved or so cared for. I don't know. I just feel like she's holding something back. And it just seems like Felipe is playing a role. They're not as solid as they're trying to come off as. I don't know. I'm not really buying it all the way. They were kind of like the only couple that I saw being together for real, but I don't know. I'm having second thoughts about them. This was also an episode or scene where Mecca has been getting a lot of heat because, sir, you are out your mind to ask Belle if she think one person is more attractive than the other. Like, why would something like that come out your mouth? That is crazy. And then you holding your hands like this with painted fingernails and a pink do-rag. Like, you can't make this up. He says that she's at a 150 and he's at an 80. How did you think that was going to go over with her? That was crazy for him to say that. That was so crazy for him to say. It was mean too. I feel like it was mean. He wanted her to feel some insecurities because that's probably what he's feeling. But that, like, it was just wrong. He shouldn't have asked that. That was very mean. She didn't deserve to be told that he's not as attracted to her. Like, you could say that, hey, I'm trying to grow this attraction, or you could say that I need to take things a little bit slower. I know that I haven't been as affectionate, and you're saying that you want that. You know, I'm trying to get comfortable. Just say that. Don't try to make the girl feel like you don't like her if you really do, because you're self-sabotaging. I felt like there was a self-sabotaging moment because it was almost like he was trying to make her feel bad and get in her head because he's questioning himself in some sort of way. That's just how I perceive that. Devin and Caitlin go on a double date with Adam and Marissa to the water park, and Devin is really craving Caitlin's attention and affection. He wants a compliment, and he feels like he's just doing too much. And I feel sad for Devin. Like, nobody should be feeling like that, especially on the honeymoon. You should be having fun and enjoying the free vacation. So, Marissa and Adam have dinner. I can't believe I'm enjoying them together. They are building a friendship, or so it seems, and they seem to really like each other's company. They talk about their living arrangements, and Adam said that she was cooked for having to live with him, and somehow I believe him. So he asked her about what she believes that they would fight about, and she brought up the jet skis. And I'm just wondering, how much has this man talked about jet skis for you to think that he would like them more than you, and it would be y'all's first like big fight? That's weird. But they're connecting well. I'm rooting for them now because I was not in the beginning. Courtney and Nick talk about what they want to do when they get back to Seattle. Nick expressed that he feels like he's learned a lot about her. He keeps talking about their vibe and how much they're communicating. So I guess they really did have a breakthrough after the boat talk. And that's about it. Caitlin is feeling exhausted by Devin's needs and him communicating his needs. And she's wondering if she's going to be able to give that to him. And he feels rejected and saying that it's hard for them to be on the same page. So I don't know if I said last episode, I do feel like Devin deserves better. I feel like he can do better. And Caitlin just shouldn't be on this show. I don't even think that there's another match for him. If there were, you know what? Let Marissa, I said Marissa should be with Devin, and I take that back. Courtney would be good for Devin, and Marissa would be good for Nick. That's what I think. But that's all I got for this episode 5. Courtney, you wrong for the way you talk about your husband and everybody, and you need to get yourself together. That's all I got for this episode, and I'll see you in the next review.